Hello everyone, MeNoHaxor here, bringing you guys not a karma commentary, but a analysis video on lane management and just the laning phase in general. In a lot of my videos I emphasize wave management, being able to know when to shove, when to freeze, and really just knowing how to capitalize on small advantages throughout the laning phase. But I thought it'd be better to go really in depth about the first couple minutes of the game to really demonstrate how you can build up a lead over very small things and then kind of blow open the game wide open. And I picked out this game in particular because I want to give an example of a lane that's very clear to win and what you should be doing if you're in the winning position. In this case, I'm playing Karma with Evolution. And if you're on the enemy team or if you're on a losing side, what you should do in that situation. And in this case, it's going to be a Kai'Sa Morgana. I also picked this game because I think Sven is a very good laner. I mean, he's literally an LCS. So I think it's good to see. So I'm going to try to point out small things he does in lane to try to make the laning phase as good as possible for him, even though he's in a disadvantageous matchup. So right off the bat, we're giving a leash to our Talia. And they're not giving a leash. So it's really important to always get the shove first if you're bot lane. The reason, or I guess any lane in general. And the reason why is because getting a level advantage over your opponent is super important. It's one of the few small things you can do in order to have a window, a very brief window where you can make a play. You can go for a really aggressive trade that you can win out on. You know, you can go get vision. You can usually do something with that advantage. So you can see, since they're not giving a leash, they're going to walk up into the lane and they're going to start autoing the creeps. So you can see like they're throwing out some autos. And now Kai'Sa also puts down a ward here. Now this ward is really, really good. And I think that if you're playing red side, you should always put this ward down early on. The reason why is because if they know that we're giving a leash, which they do because we didn't show up to the lane immediately, then we know that our jungler started bot side, right? And in this current meta, many junglers will go for cheeses. Like they'll do red, maybe do scuttle, and then just gank bot, or like they'll do red, do raptors, do scuttle, gank bot, or maybe they'll just do red and then just run bot immediately. Regardless of what pathing they chose, they would go bot like pre 3 minutes easily. And this ward will protect you for a while. This one word right here. And so that's a really good thing I wanted to point out, especially if you're red side. You should always do this because you don't want to get cheese and lose the lane completely. And you can see because they got a couple auto-offs before we came into lane, they have the shove on us. You can see like all our melee groups already died, and now we're getting pushed towards us. I'm trying to keep the back wave because I'm trying to control the waves to make sure that we're not getting completely shoved under turret. And you're going to see me queue the wave a lot throughout the laning phase. And it's not like I'm not just doing it to waste mana. It's because I'm trying to control the lane. You can see that even though we're like trying to bounce it back towards the middle so we can try to get level 2 first, like they're going to get the level 2 shove anyways. They have Morgana Soil. That's why Morgana's generally level up Soil level 1, because that way they can also help shove with the lane. And so they got the level 2, which kind of sucks because we got pushed back. Like I took quite a bit of harass from that like Kai'Sa W. It's not like the greatest. And now we know that Jin Zhao is topside because we see all this stuff going on, so we know we're pretty safe. So we know that in general we have the advantage because we're Lucian Karma against Kai'Sa Morgana. We just naturally are stronger. So we are looking to try to aggress when we know that the Jin Zhao is not going to gank us. That's why you see Lucian's queuing the wave, I'm queuing the backline. We're just trying to auto as much as possible. Like, I'm not wasting a single second. I'm always trying to like auto the wave whenever I can, and when I see an opportunity like that, I'll just go for a mantra queue. You can see Sven's doing what I don't know if you've been noticing throughout the lane so far, but Sven's always been generally positioning himself opposite to me. And that's really good because it kind of forces him to choose between trying to go for harass on him or just trying to push the wave. And most situations, I'm just going to push the wave because it's not really worth trying to harass all the way across the creep wave. And you can see with this shove, we do have a couple options. We could try to get some turret damage, which is always really nice. Or we can go check out the river. And so instead of trying to push in, we're going to check out the river because we don't know where Jin Zhao is right now. So we walk up, we see this taken. So we're like, okay, we know Xin Zhao just took this. He must be bot side. He's probably doing like Gromp or Blue or like somewhere in this area. So with that information, we're not going to aggress too much because he can potentially be down here in the next like 20 seconds or so. So I'm going for a little bit of harass just for this wave, and then I'm not going to play too aggressively afterwards because I'm also waiting for my trinket to come back up. So notice how we're not pushing here. We're just kind of like slowly building up the wave right now. And what's also really good about slowly building up the wave right now is that since this wave is a cannon, we're going to build up a giant wave when we get to this turret, and then we can try to get a lot of free damage in because with a cannon wave, you can get so many autos off on this turret. Like, you don't even have to go for harass under the turret. You don't have to go for harass on the enemy champions. You can always just go for just turret pressure. And that was a really good trade by Lucian. I shielded him. I didn't have to go for a Q. Got a really nice trade off Kaisa. And I'm just poking the Morgana, slowly winning the lane. You can see with our like little small tradings and little small advantages, where we have a gigantic wave building up. You can see they even warded over this try right here because they're really scared of a dive. And that's actually very good insight they have because most people like in high elo, they would try to go for a dive like this. Like if it would be ideal if we could bring our Talia here. If we brought our Talia here, they would lose so much CS. They'd probably lose 10 CS right now if we had Talia to scare them off. But that's okay. You know Talia's not here, so they're staying under the turret. That's fine. And now you can see Lucian and I are positioning ourselves to the very right, and we're just going to try to auto the turret as much as possible. Once again, we're just trying to stay away from Morgana as much as possible. The soil's over on this side anyways, so if we stay on this side and stay together, and we can get so much damage under the turret. Try to go for a greedy Q right there, but that's okay. Now the wave's dying down, so we don't really want to keep staying too close to the turret because we could still easily mess up, and we might like take a binding to the face, and we take a binding under turret, we die 100%. So it's okay, we'll just back off. You can see with just that one push with the wave built up, we already did a third of the turret's health. That's really good. That's super, super good. We've always want to be, like, since we are the aggressors, we definitely want to be shoving the lane as much as possible. Someone's doing a really good job of just staying back. He's like not even going to try to go for CS. And with that one trick award they put earlier, they know that Talia's here, so they're going to keep staying back. And just the Talia showing is like so much pressure for us because she doesn't even have to gank our lane, but the fact that they don't know where she is and that she could be nearby means that they can't even like they can't even push up because once again like they're not they don't have champions where they can really 2v2 us, and if there's even the slightest chance that jungler's there, they shouldn't even try to like trade, even though it's really hard for them to do so because stuff like that will happen where they just lose a trade. And once again, I'm always autoing the wave as much as possible, queuing the backline, so Lucian can clear it with one Q also. And Kaisa has to TP. Perfect. We don't have TP, so we're just going to recall right now. This is a really good time for us to recall. Morgana is also recalling at the same time. Perfect. So this is where you kind of have to, like, Sven has to make a really big decision right now because he knows that everyone just recalled, and he knows we don't have TP. So what do you do as Sven? And I think the correct decision here is to shove because if you slow push the wave right now, what's going to happen is that this wave is going to slowly build up over time. You're going to see he's going to choose to not push. So this wave is going to build slowly over time. And by the time that Lucian gets back to lane, the wave's probably going to be at about here. And if he chose to shove the wave right now, this wave in about 5 seconds, like it'd probably be at about here. And at least at this point right here, the wave will die. The wave management will work such that like since this wave died here, all the minions are going to return back to the middle of the lane, and that's like perfect for them. But the fact that he did not push the lane means that he's making a slow push right now. And you can see that Lucian is just, staying back from distance. I went mid really quickly to roam just in case. But you can see that now they have this wave built up. And now the wave is stuck here. Now this is so bad for them. The reason why is because, once again, like we are the aggressors in the lane. Like they're not level 6 yet. And so if we choose to fight 2v2, we win 100%. We have heal. We have all our sums. There's no way they can win. Just because of the nature of our champions. I get a really nice Pokemon Q. Now look how screwed they are. Like with that Mantra Q I got, they can't walk up anymore. Like, I have complete bush control right now. There's no way they can contest us. And if they want to see us, they have to fight us because we know that, like, we know we're stronger, right? So Morgana's even going to pink this bush because they're really scared. You can see that Savannah is forfeiting to CS. Like, look how scared they are right now. And they know they want to go up for CS, but they can. And you can see we're really just abusing the fact that we know we're stronger and the wave is on our side because we can control their behavior right now. You can see now we're like calling for backup right now. We just say, yo, mid laner jungler, just go dive them, wait for them right here because we're just going to fight. We're going to force a fight right now. And we're going to scare them to you guys and we're just going to double kill them. So I want to show you the execution of this. You can see as soon as Morgana misses her binding, I go for the snare on the Morgana. I know she's going to black shield, and if she black shield, she won't get snared. So I'm going to intentionally flash to make sure I can get into range for a Q to instantly break the black shield. Now she gets rooted. We get a super easy kill on the Morgana. Now Kai'Sa's completely screwed because she's literally by herself in a 4v1. And just that alone was executed because of that one decision to not push the wave. And that's how you really punish a mistake. And because of we just killed them, Kai'Sa has no TP. All that damage we got before from that turret is going to be super helpful because in just this one push, we're going to be able to take down this turret. It wasn't even a cannon wave. That was just a 6-wave minion. And we just killed it. And that's pretty much the end of the laning phase. Like, yeah, they scare us, but, you know, we get out pretty safely. So that was laning phase. And these really small things, like, led up to the fact that we were able to take this turret first. And that's a huge deal for us, because our team was not ahead by any means. Like, we were losing up until that point. We gave 2 kills for our team. We got the first turret. That's huge. And this all started just because of very small things we did in lane. Like getting very small chip damage over time because we constantly shoved the lane. You know, being able to punish the really bad freeze that they got was just really small, simple things you could do. It's not very mechanically demanding to do so. It's really just having a lot of knowledge and understanding how to control the wave in matchups. And so you might be asking, well, let's say I was Sven, right? Well, if I was, let's say, you know, you do make that mistake where you don't end up pushing the wave in that instant, right? So in this instance right here, you know, what do, right? How do you get rid of this freeze? And the solution, like as much as it sucks to say this, the solution is that you have to bring another person on your team to come down. Like they need to call down their Xin Zhao, their jungler, or their LeBlanc mid. And if they don't do that, there's no way they can break this freeze. There's like, it's actually just not possible. And that's why a lot of times in LCS, sometimes you just see junglers just show up to a lane and just help shove the lane and then leave. And I think a lot of people don't understand why they do that. And the reason why is because they need the wave to reset. Because let's say the Xin Zhao was here, right? If he just shows up, he doesn't even have to try to kill us. If he shows up, then we have no choice but to back off. So we're just going to leave, obviously, right? So we leave. They get to shove on this wave. The wave will collide to our turret. Everything dies here, and now all the waves will reset back to the middle. And that's the ideal state they want. They want at least the wave to be in the middle or shoving to the turret so they can farm safely. And because they weren't able to coordinate that with their mid laner or the jungler, well, maybe because their mid laner is Bjergsen, no flame, but because like they weren't able to coordinate that, you know, we were able to pressure them super hard in the 2v2. Like I said, like we just crushed them in the 2v2. Like it wasn't even close. And then having backup just for the last kill is just, you know, icing on top. Even if our mid lane or jungler did not come, like, to kill the Kai'Sa, we were going to take this turret regardless. Like, maybe we wouldn't have taken the turret this in one wave. It would probably take 2 waves. But the Kai'Sa can't stay under turret against us because we also just turned level 6. So yeah, it is nice to have the jungler mid laner come help us, but at the same time, it was kind of just icing on the top. Like, we didn't actually need them because we were going to dive anyways. And that's how you really blow out the game and really take control of the game. I think a lot of times I see people, they're just kind of, you know, blindly being aggressive. Like, they just kind of shove brainlessly, but they don't really think about, you know, doing other things like chipping turret damage, checking for things in the river. You know, there's a lot of small things you can do in the lane that will really help build up your advantages. And I think that I just really wanted to highlight all these things and to get you guys thinking about ways you can play at the laning phase to your advantage. So I hope you guys like this video. It's much shorter than my commentaries, but let me know if you guys like these kind of short analysis videos, and I can try to do more of those. So yeah, thanks for watching. Let me know if you have any questions, as always.